Hey everyone, welcome to another episode from Ampro Engineering. This will be another installment of the Buyer's Guide, focusing on this WPL scaler or crawler, however you want to refer to it. This is the C-24 version, but there are a number of variants of this one here, a lot of them with military bodies. They even have one with 3 axles. This particular Toyota pickup, Hilux, is based on a 1979 to 1981 model. They do have one as well that doesn't have a standard bed and is a 82-83 model with the square headlights. I wanted to go over this because this truck has become a hobby sensation. They range in price from $35 to $55. Some will come in a ready to run like this car. This particular one came with a camper shell and this radio. You can also buy them in kit form. I will be doing a review on the kit version in an upcoming video, but this one here was certainly one of the RTRs. I paid around $33, $34 for it shipped, and for that kind of price, this thing is remarkable. The body, I believe, is worth that by itself. The quality of the body is excellent. There's very few sink mark on the body. There's very little flash, very few parting lines. I mean, they did a great job. It does look like there is a little bit of warpage happening here. The body has this fairly sharp undercut here, and I believe that is a result of being removed from the mold too quickly as it wasn't done curing. You can see that here at the rear where you have this kind of tapered in section, which shouldn't be the case. Since we're looking at the underside, we can see that it does have metal frame rails and all plastic drive shaft, trailing links, front and rear. The axles are also plastic, and this is for the kit as well as the RTR model. Suspension travel is quite excellent. It's got around, let's say 10 to 12 millimeters of suspension travel, and this is a 1/16 scale truck, so you can kind of see how much travel it does have. The tires are, to me, they're a little bit stiff, but I don't think they're very bad at all. I think they're still quite usable for what this truck is. The detail on the body is excellent. The front end they did a pretty good job with. In fact, the grille is actually a grille. It's not a solid back. It has some side markers that you can install. The rear one isn't there. It does have tail light lenses, and this does come with operational LED lights. The interior on this truck is quite remarkable. It is fairly detailed. It just sits a little bit too high up. The RTR version, like this, comes with a NiCad battery. It's a 5-cell NiCad battery that goes in the back and comes with a USB charger, which I think was adequate. The remote control has 2 AA's. Unfortunately, you can see it's definitely designed for little hands, which I think is fine. I think these are probably a reasonably good toy for a youngster. However, the quality is quite lacking. You can see how much play is in the wheel. It's 2.4 gigahertz, so multiple of these can be run at one time. Let's turn that on. This RTR version has the switch here, as well as the servo centering tool. It does have a proportional throttle. However, no proportional steering. In fact, the steering servo is terrifying on this truck. It's just horrifying. That is the truck's biggest failure, is that just horrifying. We'll take it for a spin in a minute to see what kind of steering radius we have. Since we're here, I did want to show you the transfer case. This has a motor mounted here in the center, and then there's a gear reduction unit right here. I have seen some 2-speed transmission units for this. Unfortunately, I know quite little about them. It does have auxiliary parts that are not installed yet. It has a snorkel, side view mirrors, door handles, side markers, as a thing. This one did come with the camper shell, so it has a number of additional features, and there's a lot of aftermarket parts available for this truck already. Let's give it a go. All right, we're doing some construction in my front yard here, so I think this will be more than sufficient. God, that steering. I started off kind of crawling a little bit. Oh my God. want to point out that this is full right. Although it's going over the grass, excellent, I must say. Let's try full lefts here. Better. It's really good on the grass. Really, really good on the grass. So as you can tell, its off-road performance in terms of ground clearance, what it can get over is remarkable. It's really a pretty good truck in terms of its suspension, its clearance, its ground clearance, its linkages, its articulation. I think it's awesome. The proportional throttle, although a little rudimentary, worked great, but I just don't know if I can get past that steering. It's terrifying. I mean, this truck has barely any steer. I was messing with this little adjustment down here, and no matter what I do, I cannot get this truck to do any kind of proper steering circle, at least reasonable. So the question is it a good truck, and do you want to get one? How do I put this? I love toy grade RC cars. In fact, it's difficult for me to call it toy grade because I think they're all toys. But you know what I mean. The ones that you can readily buy for very little money at any kind of big box store. When I think toy grade, unfortunately for this car, I think this. The Tyco Bandit, the Nico Turbo Panther, those are cars that define the toy grade RC cars. This is a spectacular RC car. This, despite its steering problems, is a great car too. But the target audience for this car, I actually hesitate to say is a child, because it's not fast. I don't think it's going to jump at all or well because of its speed. This is not a race car. This is a crawler. And unless the parent is into crawling, this I really don't think is going to be very much fun for your child. This truck, on the other hand, was really fast, would fly through the air, soar through the air, and would keep any 5, 6, 7-year-old happier than can be, whereas this I don't think will do that. If you are an adult looking for just kind of a smaller crawler to take with you places, or just love the look, go buy it. It's awesome. Rip the steering servo out and throw it away and set it on fire and send it to Chernobyl to be placed next to the elephant's foot. Whatever you can do to get that servo out of there and replace its electronics. I would go for the kit model versus the RTR. But in terms of cost, this was actually cheaper than the kit. If you are looking for an RC car for a little one, you're better off getting a buggy or a stadium truck type RC car from a number of manufacturers out there right now that can be had for between $40 and $70, which are a lot quicker and may be fun for someone who wants to jump something. Again, this is not designed for that application. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying that it's not particularly suited for it. And that steering, I just can't imagine that this steering would last very long. And these drive shafts being plastic, again, these are tiny little pieces. I don't think we're going to see reliability if this thing is bashed quite a lot. So you will see a lot more of this truck. We've got a lot of work planned for this one, as well as its kit brother that I've got as well. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it informative. There's a ton of videos on YouTube on these cars, so please take a look at those, see what people have done, and see what kind of reliability you're going to find with the RTR version before you purchase one. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, you can add me on Instagram and Facebook at Ampro Engineering on both, and we will see you next time.